Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Death Stranding. I'm the Mysterious JG.
Bobo the Vulture.
So I'm just real excited we finally got to do a video together, and sound and everything in sync was fine. In my own mind, thinking about how it went, I realized, if nothing else, having Bobo along for the ride meant I couldn't do what I caught myself doing in Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is pausing every 3 lines of dialogue to interject a 5 minute commentary. So I think I could have had like 4 videos worth of that Heartman talk if I'd been doing it solo. But luckily, Bobo was here to keep things moving just by stopping me from pausing everything constantly. That being said, yeah, look, you want to open up by just chit chatting a bit about what we saw? I mean, there was that was a. I don't feel like we know that much more about the story, but that was kind of an interesting concept. Kojima just dropped in for one plot sequence and might never be revisited. The guy who dies for 3 minutes every half an hour or so that he can search the afterlife for his wife and child.
Yeah, there are a couple of it's this game is interesting in that it has a lot of interesting concepts for characters and backstory, and
Mm,
then you play the game and very rarely are they either touched on or even less often are they relevant to how the story would actually progress. Like
yeah.
you have a guy who apparently is like a reanimate, like is a Frankenstein's monster. Like he is just a like that's pretty interesting. And like, oh, does that mean he doesn't have like a soul on the beach or whatever like
Right.
everybody else? Doesn't really practically affect what he does. He's still the guy that tells you watch out for this diehard man because he apparently thinks you have no basic concept of being able to be creeped up by a guy with a thrown skull who tells you what to do. Um,
And that just
or
shows that's a good point. The point that I'm pulling out of what you just said is I now feel like a bit of a goof. I know it's a Kojima game. I'm expecting to get betrayed at some point. I feel like I haven't played that many non-Metal Gear Kojima games because he's done games that weren't in the Metal Gear series. That's just obviously what he's best known for. But no, I was like, I'm really not finding why it would be weird that there's a guy with a metal skull mask giving you your orders. I mean, you've seen him in person. He's wearing a suit. Why wouldn't he be? I like at this point, it's almost like now that you mention it, it's like I guess the twist would be if Die Hard Man is actually like it could be more of a and god damn Metal Gear Solid was a great game. Like when what's his name? Oh my god, I can't believe I don't remember his name. He's the guy Liquid Snake is impersonating. Master
oh,
Miller.
Master
Master
Miller.
Miller. When Master Miller
Yes.
starts feeding you the notion that you should be really suspicious of Colonel Campbell, but then it turns out it's like a double bluff, and that's
Mhm.
probably not the correct use of that term. But yeah, like I'm kind of like, oh, maybe Heartman's gonna or not Heartman. And that's the problem. Everyone's stupid names. I keep getting specifically Heartman and Deadman. I keep flipping their names, but it's like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe Deadman's really sneaky and evil, and Die Hard Man's like super honest. But I'm like, no, he is like a guy in a suit wearing a freaking death skull mask.
Well, and it's actually a particularly nice suit too. Like it's a very, very formal suit,
Yeah,
which
no, he's
means
a
that if you can't remember, you can't keep the names separated particularly well. Just call him Tuxedo Skullmask,
yeah. That's a good
and he'll
point.
just shove at the end of it, it's like, you heard the man. Your orders are to believe in yourself and to stop this evil permanent winter.
Wait, what? What is he talking about? I want to go now. Go into a 5 minute side thing about that one episode of Sailor Moon where Serena, for the first time ever, questions Tuxedo Mask's goofy speech, which is no goofier than any other speech. But that's not the point. Yeah, but it's no. There's some interesting stuff going on in this game. As ever, Kojima has like individually cool ideas that don't necessarily cohere into anything, and like in particular in this game, yeah, like um, fragile, like her body was damaged by timefall rain, and now she can like warp around, and that's just like that's their fast travel. That's okay. They
Hmm.
kind of incorporated that in the game, but yeah, the idea that Heartman or not Heartman, damn it, Deadman is a Frankenstein. I don't know if that's ever going to make a difference. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
going to be a scene where he comes out and like Higgs or some villain shoots us with the Soul Killer ray. but Dead Man steps in front of us and absorbs it because he has no like I don't know. It's just a lot of weird shit going on. But
Yeah.
it does. I think the overall theme because he apparently wants to have like a main theme in all of his games, and the theme in this one does seem to be accepting death, which is kind of a weird video game to play. Because like Heartman can't accept the death of his family, so he's dying 3 minutes every 30 minutes to search for them in the afterlife. I don't get the impression that in the ending scene, that search is going to be rewarded. Like we'll find out he found them and brought them back to life. I don't think that's where it's going. It's just probably meant to be really depressing if you think about it. So I don't know.
So wait, looking at his family, he had a wife and one kid, two
He had a
kids?
wife and a daughter. Yes.
Okay. So what may end up happening is he needs to find a vessel without a soul. So
No, and then you get this like, and there's some science fiction and fantasy stories that have touched on this, like you lose your wife and child and you can only bring one of them back, like, and the wife's ghost will probably tell him, "Don't choose me, choose to bring back." So we might see something where the daughter's soul is reborn into Dead Man. That could be,
yeah.
yeah. And I was trying to read without spoiling too much of the story, which is dangerous and difficult. But I was just bored at the waiting room at the hospital, and reading about Dead Man. And one of the character notes was that Dead Man, like the
Oh,
idea, what?
sorry. Before you get going farther off on this point, I should mention you probably could be walking somewhere.
Well, yeah, but okay. Well, let's. I'll just finish this point, and then we'll pick up an order and start
Yeah.
walking. Yeah, no, good point. But yeah, like Dead Man is supposed to be the funny character. It's like, well, I
That dead
guess.
man is such a goof.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I guess he seems more affable than I don't know, Die Hard Man, the guy in the tuxedo and the skull face. But he
Yes.
doesn't have a lot of confidence. Like Mama and Fragile, like neither of them seem like zany, wacky characters to me. Oh well. All right,
I do kind of
Our
feel like they
ultimate
could. Oh,
objective in this region is to build a replacement for a way station that was lost to the tar. The first
you're gonna
step
have
is
to
to put
murder
a
the
shelter with our
vicious
scientists in the
target.
chiral
No,
network.
like I said.
well,
Now, we don't know the first thing about Emily's status or what Higgs is up to. That's a concern for us.
all I
as
know
much
is
as you.
Emily is French and she
But we
doesn't
won't
talk
know
a lot.
more until we get to Edge Knot City. And that
And
means
meanwhile, I was thinking
protecting
about
this region
Brer
first.
Rabbit, but
You should start with the geologist and the paleontologist. The latter's holding something for the Evo-Devo
it's a good thing we don't
biologist,
have
so
more than one of
I
either, because we
recommend you
wouldn't
save
know
her
what to
for
name
last.
them.
That way, you can finish a delivery and link up the final site in one go. Once all three are on the grid, come back here. Then we can get to work on the replacement for that lost way station.
Okay, so they're basically telling me accept a bunch of deliveries unless you want to go back and forth a lot.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, we're at Heartman's special zone, so we got a little picture of Heartman over there, but I don't know that we'll ever get to talk to him again. Maybe
Oh,
when
I'm
we
sure he
delivered.
will send us emails. I am sure he will send us a lot of emails.
Yeah, that's not really a question. Um, all right, so we can send an authentic coffee making kit to Roboticist. I'm worried that Elder may have died because it's been a while since we used robots to send him medicine. Um, Delivery. We got a coffee making kit to the Roboticist. I don't see a reason not to send robots out on all available missions because they just do a terrible job and deliver broken crap, and we get tiny, tiny, tiny increases in our affinity level with each of these places. But it's
Yeah,
nice to
but
know that
like,
Heartman has like authentic coffee making equipment hanging out at his lab that can be delivered by this robot.
he really needs to be careful about that coffee stuff, though. That stuff can be really bad for your, well,
I don't. Yeah. Sometimes you find out it's good. Like they don't seem to be real consistent. Those medical types on whether coffee's good for you or not.
oh
That's
boy.
been.
Let's not go into the back and forth on those medical types. I've been thinking a lot lately, speaking of Kojima, about how much I feel like people around me discussing the ideas of what institutes they can trust in the world in
Yeah.
general have been just, I don't know, is this just a generation? Is this a generation that like their
Lost
earliest
instincts.
experience with like having their minds blown was Metal Gear Solid 2?
Maybe, but I mean, to me, there's only two things that I trust that I put in my body. That's coffee and deworming medicine for animals. I will put them in my body all day long. All right, so let's listen to some briefings.
You've been tasked with delivering chiralium scrubbing agents to a geologist of
So
ours.
get on it.
He's been exposed to dangerous levels of chiralium during his latest excavation, and is
And he needs the
exhibiting
power of
all the
Corellium
associated
scrubbing
symptoms.
bubbles.
The strata he's dug into apparently contains a fossil beach dating back to the end of the Cretaceous period.
Fossil beach? Is that going to be
I'm
like
told
weird
that could be a
afterworld beach?
significant discovery should it be confirmed. But we'll never know for
Who
sure
told you
if
that?
he can't decontaminate the site and carry on with his work.
Also, he may be some kind of like demon zombie because he's been, affected with stuff, so be prepared for that. Also, the pathologist. Because this is the geologist. Here's the paleontologist. I'm sorry.
A paleontologist of ours needs an antimatter bomb for an important excavation.
Oh, sure, I can see how.
Seems
So
the strata
develop that
he's
as your
attempting to
finishing
reach
move.
is beneath a layer of tar, and he has no choice but to resort to drastic measures.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
The
why
bomb
wouldn't
is
you jump
safely
straight to
secured in its case.
atomic weapons?
But if you're careless and break the damn thing, you know what'll happen.
Game over, yeah. So they want us to do both deliveries in one go, even though one of them involves carrying a nuke. Why not?
Yeah. Sounds pretty neat.
I guess we're gonna take them both on. And they've got delivery to hazardous or mountainous area, handle with care, avoid impact, blah blah blah. All right.
I feel like if you use your hoverboard for those, it should be a
Yeah.
smoother ride. But I don't know that. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying, like, I'm guessing it's the kind of thing where the game will prevent you from doing it because they're like, oh, you can't entrust the antimatter bomb to this, this cart because the cart's not cool enough.
A geologist of ours has been
not cool
studying
enough.
fossils as part of his research into
He's not smart
prehistoric
enough to be
extinction
scared, yeah.
events. He's been out there conducting excavations for a while now and has begun to suffer the effects of chiral contamination.
So he could end up
No
being
doubt
like
the
that
result of excessive
one guy from Metal
exposure
Gear
to
Survive who
chiralium
tried to kill you,
during the
except that nobody played that
Until
game,
the
so
site
never
is
mind.
properly decontaminated, his work can't proceed. Nor will his health improve. So we need you to bring him some chiralium scrubbing agents.
Scrubbing bubbles. Oh, and I'm gonna warp back in with a different. Oh, hey, Heartman's awake again. He's gonna jump in here.
The strata the team was investigating dates from the end of the Cretaceous period,
Oh, hold on, I have to die
the
again.
time of the infamous mass extinction, which brought the reign of the dinosaurs to a close, leaving small mammals to inherit the Earth. It's the most recent of
As
the
Doctor Who
above,
fans know, this was
and one
caused by
of the
entropy.
largest mass extinctions the world has ever seen.
You know, I suppose I could just step outside the door and tell you this, but
That would
I
be
can't really
taking
be
up a
asked.
significant amount of my time before my next death.
Beach.
Fossil
If that
beach.
is indeed what it is, then he has made a tremendous discovery.
And if not, we've wasted
Therefore,
your
Sam,
time and
it
ours,
is
but mostly
essential that
yours.
you deliver those chiralium scrubbing agents as soon as possible.
Scrubbing bubbles.
One
I'm
more thing,
back.
Sam. For this run, you'll be transporting an antimatter bomb. The Bridges paleontologist working
It's
on
like
a
the
dig
Vader
says
bomb,
he needs
except
it.
antimatter.
Apparently, the fossils he wants to study are buried deep beneath tar, and the only way he can get to them is by blowing it wide open. Now, hopefully, I don't need to tell you to be extra careful when handling high-yield explosives. But in case I do,
This
Be extra careful.
make sure you
I
keep
yield
that
explosives.
container in one piece, no matter what.
Even if it means you're not allowed to go sledding on it.
Thermal pad. Indispensable gear for cold weather operations. Especially useful when traversing snow-capped mountains.
I'll only tell you about the existence of them after you spent the past, I don't know, 5 or 10 videos wandering around through the very same mountains that
It's more than 10.
centuries before Arthur Morgan would have been desperately pleading with people to try to stay warm in.
That's a good point. So it increases the amount of stamina restored by drinking from the canteen. Also enable the wearer to rest in snow. I suppose we should have one built. What though?
Sam,
Yep.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten, but you need
Yeah.
to be extremely
Antimatter bomb.
careful
I
with
know.
that
Jeez,
antimatter
ma.
bomb, especially when transporting it by a carrier or vehicle. Any irregularities should trigger an alarm. Don't ignore it.
God, doing it already, Skullface man.
Oh. So we got all this stuff. A bolo gun, various hermetic grenades. I really hope we don't encounter zombies. Power gloves, chiro boots.
Zomboys.
Zombies, I meant to say. I didn't mean to say zomboys.
Get some zomboys.
What about the heating pad we made? Speed skeleton I probably need to just recycle. I don't think we'll be using a speed skeleton here in the mountains too much. For the antimatter bomb, I thought I made a heat
Wait,
pad.
are we on the chiral network here? Because you could make a time fault shelter and repair the box that your speed skeleton is in, because your speed skeleton itself is not that damaged.
I think I'm just gonna trade it in. Nothing like it doesn't really seem like anything's that expensive to buy. I'm tempted to buy a motorcycle here, but that's probably not gonna work. So let's recycle the the container's damaged, speed skeleton's not, but I'm just gonna recycle it. I mean, I guess I could just put it in storage. Yeah, whatever, I'm gonna get rid of it. But I thought we made a heater pad, and it seems like it doesn't exist. Maybe I just didn't actually make it.
I think he just heard about it.
Well,
right?
I tried to make one, but I guess I didn't hit the right buttons. Anyway, I'll recycle this, and Dead President Mom will thank us. Unless it's Amelie. I think it's Dead President Mom we're seeing in these pictures.
Maybe it's dead president of Momoli.
Yeah, that's... We got some age lines there. So we got, like, tiny little bit of resources.
No, I believe that is President Bridget Bridges president. Well, because her name is apparently Bridget.
Yep, Bridges.
I'm pretty sure your last name is Bridges.
Yep.
But everyone's last name is something to do with their profession. So her last name must actually be president. So I believe her name is Bridget Bridges president.
Hold on, let's check before we get going here. Are we already wearing power gloves? Because if not, we should make some power gloves. They're so bad.
You definitely had something that
we got
looked
power
like you had
gloves.
like little Black Panther claws.
We got
Which-
power
oh,
gloves.
boy.
They're heavily damaged power gloves. We got an all-terrain skeleton that's mildly damaged. Our chiro boots are a bit damaged. Our power gloves will probably be fine. I guess I could build a new power gloves and a heating pad.
Are you able to build things here, or is it
Yeah,
just
fabricate equipment is available because they introduced us to the idea of thermal pads here. And new gloves. Yeah, I think I was about to say, is there something where we didn't have enough of them? And no, that is not the case. We have enough of everything here. So we will put these on gloves. And then this we will attach to suit.
Unfortunately, I'm getting a point where I'm not getting a real update on what you're doing visually, but it's not. I mean, you're going through menus, and then all of a sudden, like, giant boxes are apparating onto Jennifer Bridges' back. I'm guessing.
Well,
is the part.
that's kind of how it works. But
Yeah.
now we're getting thermal pads that I have to attach. Oh,
Do they attach onto like your
shoulders
arm?
and legs, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I would need like 3 of them.
I mean, I guess if you put one in
Thermal
like
packs will
your
drain
hip
battery when
holster or whatever.
activated.
Because happiness is a warm gun.
guess I don't know if I'm meant to be having thermal thingies all over my body, but I will get rid of the damaged power gloves at any rate.
Damn. I've got thermal thingies all over my body.
It's pretty odd. Yeah, I wasn't given the option to equip them, like power gloves or, you know.
Delivering cargo.
I don't care if you got thermal pads all over your body, I'm still not gonna touch you.
Support.
Well, I mean, I guess you could touch my thermal pads as long as you're not touching me.
Just this buggy Samporter Bridges, I'm not touching you. I guess technically not. Them's the rules.
Yep. I guess but I just have a very rare phobia where I'm afraid of people touching my thermal patches. So sorry about that.
Almost as rare as Heartman disease.
Heartman has a weird heart that is shaped. His anatomical heart is shaped like a Valentine heart, which I don't think that's a real thing as far as diseases go. I just don't know about that one. All right, so now we're carrying around. We're all heated up
Big
and
old tower and oh wow, yeah, you've got like jugs of hot water.
Basically, that's what. Yeah. So I'm a little worried about battery because apparently they drain battery when activated, and I don't know how to activate them. So
Maybe they're running all. Maybe that's the secret, Cap. They're running all the time.
it might be that it's just a complete waste of time, or they're running all the time. Anyway, they want us to keep on keeping on. So. All right, so we need to get. I don't know how far we'll get here.
The hell up.
And I didn't bother to bring any climbing anchors or ladders, so that probably wasn't that smart. By the time I'm done equipping for this, it'll be the end of the video.
Sounds about right.
Alright, we probably want, like, say 3 ladders and 3 climbing anchors.
We'll be like, were you planning on putting those on your shoulders and hips?
Because that's not going to, unless they're heated ladders.
Hot
You can
ladders.
hang one on your tool rack.
Oh, I would think your tool rack was in front.
Ooh. I don't understand why we have a tool rack, but only on one side. Maybe the other side is where your guns go. So you can go to the gun shop.
I mean, they want to leave one side open so that you have quick access to the antimatter bomb.
I suppose that's true in case you
So you can perform it out of any position.
so you can throw it at mules if they attack you. So now we're carrying even more nonsense here. Like the odds of us having an accident with
Can you get through the door? Yep, okay.
the odds of us having an accident with the atomic bomb just went way up in my mind because we're now carrying.
Oh.
So, Hartman told you all about the lake.
Y'all.
How the attack that created it changed his life forever.
Uh-huh.
Not only did he lose his family, he very nearly lost himself.
And he didn't get that butter.
Yeah, so forget about all that.
State of
Go on with your mission.
cardiopulmonary arrest. Under normal circumstances, he would have died. Therapeutic hypothermia saved his life. But the 21 minutes he spent on the other side had a lasting effect on him.
Turned him into a real weirdo.
Perhaps due to the shock, his Doom's abilities seem to have increased.
Pretty cool, huh?
And now he takes every opportunity to walk.
Okay, so we're kind of heading in the right general direction.
Yeah.
Seems like, I don't know, I gotta plot this out here. So, seems like we could be going through here. It's like the wider patches are usually kind of traversable. The other thing I could do is, well, no, because it won't let me take cargo. It's like, why can't I just teleport and start this mission from over here? Seems like if we could get...
I don't know. You could go south underneath this entire mountain range there.
Just go...
I mean, not entirely the entire mountain range, but you see where that, whatever the square is, where it says up. Oh, that's an up arrow sign.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess.
This is saying cliff. Yeah, it seems like if we came here, like, we'd have to figure out this, which might be worse than it
Like
looks.
that might just be a narrow passage, or it might be
Yeah, but I think
an impassable thing. And then if you did, it looks like it's all just low level, like low altitude snow drifts.
oh, now Dead Man's
My
coming.
apologies, Sam.
Heartman.
You came all this way to visit me, but I neglected to give you a proper farewell.
All I did was
Do
talk
care
about
her. As I mentioned before, this region
pulses.
is rich in memories of death, extinction. It should come as no surprise that BTs are sighted here more frequently. Perhaps you recall the models in my lab. Their designs were all based on eyewitness accounts. Though I suppose they must have struck you as strange, considering the many times you've come
Hold on,
face to
this
face.
is like something to
with
deliver
real
back to
horror.
Heartman. I'm just going to take this right back to Heartman before we get going too far. Because it was, stuff for Heartman.
Now you can increase your affinity with him, and he'll be like, "Oh, I appreciate this so much. I will treasure it for
You'd be like,
yeah, forever."
he's like, I really appreciate that you did this for me, Sam. You are now my favorite person in the world that I see on a regular basis. It's kind of like every time I tell
Oh, there
our
is a
niece that-
truck over there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Thinking.
Honestly, the thing about that is that there's no reason not to try. And then just ditch it if I get to a point where it's not useful. So I might just try that out here when we get back on the journey. Or the motor. Like, I really like the motorcycles. I don't know if they'll let me hop on with all this cargo, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, from the day Sam Porter Bridges was born, all he wanted was rock and roll porn with a motorbike.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's why he wears the sunglasses. They're somehow related to rock and roll porn.
It's going to be a real shame when Dr. Frankenfurter murders Sam Porter Bridges at the end of the game.
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose that would be a shame.
So I
It makes about as much sense as the rest.
I just slipped here, like.
Did you just hit the?
Yeah, I
atom
damaged
bomb?
I damaged the freaking bomb, picking that nonsense up. And we're at the end of a video, so I might just, between videos, get back to where we were, having not done damage to that bomb. Like, literally just, like, walking around inside. I think I might not take as many ladders and stuff, just because it makes it easier to trip over.
Well,
No, I mean, just walking back in the building.
No, I know.
Hit a wall, and it's like, oh, now your bomb is damaged. Oh, I could probably recover from this. Ugh. It just really makes me question the wisdom of coming back in here to drop this package. So,
thank you, Sam, for delivering something right outside my door. For delivering something right outside my door.
I guess we'll get the "you delivered something to Heartman" message, unless it's just a generic "thank you, you have delivered the package" message, which we get, like, you know.
Delivery complete.
Yeah, it is.
Displaying performance evaluation.
Thank you for delivering this pizza. Yeah, he delivered pizza to that guy. He's never there. Yeah.
You really should be delivering pizza coffee.
Well, I don't know if I trust pizza coffee. Oh, you know what? The other thing is that I think I confirmed this in the waiting room at the hospital too. Yeah, we don't actually unlock anything other than holograms and shit from building our connection level here, so it definitely was not worth doing that. Oh well. Probably get an autosave just for our continued support.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal.
Nice job. Now do more of it.
Yeah. Let's see, is this new order? No, this new order is not something the robots can
Not
do.
deliverable.
So
Well, I don't know. Do you have any more robots, or are they?
it
They
was
all
no. Even
occupied
if I
at the
don't have,
moment.
well, no, maybe you're right. I don't know how many more robots I have that are not in the middle of a mission, but that one's
Are
not.
they all
possible.
Aki Roboto?
Domo arigato, akirabato. At any rate, folks, I'm going to call it a video here, and when we come back next time, I don't know if Bobo will still be here, but that bomb will definitely be here, and possibly still with 8% damage. Depends on whether I feel like looting. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.